Yeah, great piece of music there for you on GJRB Online. That's a new artist by the name of Brian Jett. Comes out of Lexington, Kentucky, and you'll be hearing more of them. Like the selection you're hearing in the background right now. We'll have that one coming up on a future show. It's called Wonderfully You. We'll play that on an upcoming show. It's absolutely fabulous. And got a lot of really good smooth jazz for you here on GJRB Online. I'm Gary J. Russell with you. Coming up in this next hour, we have new emerging artists from California and Chicago area, I believe, too. I think we got one from Chicago. We'll take a look at that. We got that all coming up in this next hour here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. Thanks a lot for tuning in on GJRB Online and GJRB Online Network. And coming up in the next hour, we've got some really good stuff. And we'll start the hour with some more non-stop favorites. And also include this hour coming up, we'll include what's on Spreaker. Tell you what's going to be on the air here on Spreaker after we get done with this show, what other programs are going to be coming up. And talk about some of the great Spreaker followers we do have and some of the programs they put on. It's all coming your way this hour here on GJRB Online, so you want to tune in. Also coming up in this next hour, we'll have a weather on the fives for California, some parts of that, Pennsylvania, and we'll have our Clinton area local forecast before we close things out today on Smooth Afternoon here on GJRB Online. And of course we'll have a few shout outs to some of our people listening. Beginning of our broadcast today, we had Blake Miters dropped in, and don't know if he's out there yet or still in there, but we want to thank him for dropping in for just a little bit, telling me that some of our shows aren't getting posted or notification. I've been having notification issues for some time, but I have no idea why. Just don't. So I'm going to try to figure that one out in the long run here, and try to figure out why my notifications aren't working right. Because I went in my settings, tried to fix a few things, trying to make adjustments, trying to see if maybe I had to do an experimental broadcast to see if maybe I'm notified of my shows coming up. I might have to follow myself just to find out, because I don't know. It's just pretty weird that I'm not getting notifications from other people going live. And according to that, it's connected to my email address, and I don't know if it's that. I know I need my email cleaned out. I have a lot of old ones going way back that maybe perhaps if I clean those out, I might get more notifications. This could be possible. All right, tell you what we're going to do. We're a little past due on the weather on the 5, so let's do that because we skipped it twice. So let's just do it right now. Weather on the 5s as we wrapped up our 50 minutes of non-stop music with another one coming right up. But let's take a look at that weather for you guys listening in Springfield, Missouri. You guys are right now at 38 degrees right now in Springfield. Winds are out of the north at 4 miles per hour, gusting to 4. So not much of a gust there. It just keeps on gusting. Pretty well clear on your radar. Clear all the way through the airport there. So that's not too bad. Let's take a look at your barometric pressure. 30.09 inches of mercury. You have a relative humidity at 79%. Your dew point's 32. So you're looking real good there. Let's take a look at your forecast for Springfield in the area and around Springfield, Missouri. You have a 10% chance of precipitation for your area. Partly cloudy, low about 28 degrees. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. 20% chance of precipitation again tomorrow with a high of 41 degrees. Cloudy. And winds will be northeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tomorrow night, you have a 90% chance. Yep, some more snow coming your way in Springfield. Snow, low around 26 degrees with a northeast wind at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. So that's looking pretty good. Your weather brought to you by Weather Underground, where you can get your weather. And we have one right here in our local area here. It gives you our weather from That, and of course that what you got there was from Grant Beach Station in Springfield. Some of the other areas of interest include Fairbanks, Alaska. We did their weather last hour. It's 25 degrees and sunny, so that's looking real good. And Minneapolis, Minnesota, and St. Paul, 20 degrees. Grand Rapids, Michigan, checking in with 36 degrees this hour. Weather on the 5s, 25 and 45 minutes past the hour on all music shows, 25 and 55 on all talk shows here on GJRB. Got some more smooth jazz and another 45 plus coming up next.
Coast to coast and way out there, fans. Listen up. If you like UFO conspiracies, ghosts, and the paranormal, you'll love Spaced Out Radio. Spreaker's answer to Coast AM with more interesting guest experts in the paranormal and UFOs each month. If you like Way Out There, you'll love Spaced Out Radio. Own the night with Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. Nightly at 11 p.m. Central, 12 o'clock midnight Eastern, and 9 p.m. Pacific. On Spreaker, on Periscope, and on D-Talk Radio Network.
Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radioland. A day of nothing but classic radio shows back to back with classic commercials in between, like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radioland.
Now, GJRB brings...
End times are upon us, and we need to know what's happening. Knowing the truth is key to survival. There are lots of news events going on in the world that have certain significance to end time happenings. Listen, as men and women gather to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy on the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast Wednesdays and run live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB.
Watch. Pray. For we not know what hour the Son of God will return. Prophecy, New World Order, terrorism, economic collapse, wars, pest, Israel. When they say peace, then cometh sudden destruction, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, end time headlines at www.endtimeheadlines.org.
From Clinton, Iowa, on Spreaker, this is GJR Broadcasting, GJRB.
Yeah, new jazz movement, one of our newest ones here on GJRB Online. It's called Drift. Great piece of music there, Ned. And just ahead of that, it was music from Dr. Bob's Beboppin' Jazz Quartet with Fantasize. Smooth afternoon on GJRB Online as we're wrapping up our last hour of show here on GJRB Online. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the program wherever you're listening across Spreaker Land, USA. Got weather on the 5s coming up about 25 after. We'll take a look at the program schedule and do our regular feature we always call What's on Spreaker. So stay tuned for that. And, of course, I'll tell you what our programming is coming up on GJRB Online. As you will know, all spontaneous. Next week, I've got a GJRB schedule update video cast coming up on our GJRB TV YouTube channel talking about some of the programming changes being made. And that means that GJRB is on a permanent, yes, for good, spontaneous schedule. So you never know when you're going to hear GJRB Online. We'll still have our regular weekly programs, and we'll try to get some of the programs on at one every week. And otherwise, it's going to be playing around with different kinds of schedules to see what we can come up with at piecing together a really nice regular GJRB schedule and kind of doing some phasing out a little bit of some programs we don't air as much, and some programs that we're going to keep, and some that are coming back, like Up and Coming. We'll let you know about all those program schedules coming up this hour here on GJRB Online. Meanwhile, this next group comes out of Los Angeles. The group is called Not for the Mainstream. And these guys are from Los Angeles, but they're they're recording a selection about Chicago called the Chicago Song Cover Rendition, Not for the Mainstream, on Smooth Afternoon. Brand new music on Spreaker on GJRB. Yeah. Where's that volume control here? Here it is. Okay. Kind of like this piece. So we had the volume down on it, so let's start it over. Okay, here we go. There we go. Yeah, Chicago Song, cover rendition, Not for the Mainstream, on Smooth Afternoon. fabulous. Out of Los Angeles, they call themselves Not For the Mainstream. That's called the Chicago Song cover rendition on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Across America, bringing you new emerging artists all the time here on GJRB. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We got Weather on the Fives coming up here shortly. And along with that, we'll also give you our program schedule, what's coming up on GJRB Online, and what's on Spreaker. So keep it here on GJRB Online. Smooth afternoon on a Friday. This is Gregory Payton. Gonna take a little time. Me, the fabulous smooth jazz artist from our SoundClick site. That is Gregory Payton. And it's going to take a little time on Smooth Afternoon. Gary J. Russell with you on Spreaker across America on a Friday afternoon. And on GJRB Online. We'll be giving you our program schedule coming up here in just a little bit with our What's on Spreaker. And, of course, what our program schedule is coming up this week on GJRB Online. We'll repeat this a couple of times. We'll be on the air again tomorrow. Hope you'll tune in. Live 3 o'clock Central Time, 4 o'clock East, and 1 o'clock Pacific. And for people living way up there in the North Pole area, I believe that would probably be you're about 3 hours behind us there. So I'm looking at probably 12 o'clock noon in the Alaska people. So I don't know, something like that. Anyway, we'll be on the air with more great smooth jazz. I hope you'll tune in. We'll be on the air a little earlier locally, but we'll be on the air 1 o'clock locally on our 9-foot signal. That's our closed circuit 9-foot. Just around the radius of our GJRB Spreaker Studios is our 9-foot signal called Cool Jazz 106.7. And right after we get off the air, when we flip over, we go into network, GJRB Online Network, and bring you the best of jazz. Tomorrow, featuring the music of Thelonious Monk. They play some Thelonious Monk. I like to see the name of that. It's just something really cool. We got him coming up tomorrow. We'll have some more John Coltrane. Gonna throw in some Dizzy Gillespie. I like to play his stuff, and some new emerging artists too, with some jazz fusion. So tune in for that tomorrow, right here on GJRB Online. Right now, though, it's time for weather on the 5. Let's take a look at what's going on. To a roundup of all the temperatures so far that we've covered from all the areas, including Springfield, Missouri. You guys are checking in with 37 degrees under cloudy skies. It is 25 in Fairbanks with sunny skies. And over in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, it's 20 degrees. Grand Rapids, Michigan, checking in with 36. And let's see, we got a weather map full of interesting weather that we'll talk about. Springfield, Missouri is one of them. You guys in Springfield are in for some nasty weather again. Look at your radar at this point. Looking at, let's just take a look here, because I'm just seeing, kind of wondering the other day where the heck the jet stream is. I've been wondering. I'm going to try to find that. I mean, where in the heck of the map is the jet stream? Because I have not seen it on any weather forecast. And I'm wondering if it's bending down or what, because I'm thinking that the jet stream should be coming up pretty soon, bringing in some warm air from the south. So I'm really hoping we see that, because I think that's our problem, is the jet stream is not giving us the, kind of being stubborn and getting stuck down to the south there, giving us all this cold air coming out of Canada. So, don't know if that is the situation, but I can sure bet you probably it is. Let's take a look at our friends in Fort Snelling, Minnesota, or St. Paul. Let's take a look. That's from the Minnehaha station. 20 degrees in St. Paul right now. 20 degrees in St. Paul. Let's take a look at some areas around that. Take a look at some temperatures around different parts of that area, including Lake Harriet's 21 degrees at this time. Indian Mountains checking in with 20. And if you are in the Millard, St. Paul area, 21 degrees for your area right now. And in Tangle, I like the name of that town, Tangletown, Minneapolis, Minnesota, at 18.2 degrees. Relative humidity at 85%. Your dew point 15 degrees. Your barometric pressure is outstanding at 30.31 inches. And steady at this point. Let's take a look at your forecast right now. 90% chance of precipitation, snow early, low of 4 degrees tonight, winds north-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, high 21, winds north-northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. You have a 10% chance of precipitation both tomorrow and tomorrow night, with partly cloudy skies and a low of -9 for tomorrow night, with northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. And we'll take a look at the Clinton weather forecast for our people listening right here in the local area on GJRB LPFM, 9-foot signal, Cool Jazz 106.7 KJAZ, and of course across America. And we'll take a look at one more forecast for you for Clinton area weather on the 5s. 25 and 45 minutes past the hour on all music shows, 25 and 55 on all talk shows. And whenever we get busy or we have a guest or we're just jamming with some great music, anytime it ends in 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, no, okay. 25, 45, 55 minutes past the hour on GJRB Online. Weather on the 5. 15 more minutes, we'll take a look at the at that point. And, see what's rolling in there as far as your weather is concerned for the Clinton area. Also, we didn't do any sports yet. I've been kind of slacking on my sports lately. And I really want to do it because, the Cubs are in spring training. And they are now, they blew their game yesterday. I don't know what happened there. It didn't look too good for the Cubs. The Angels, I think the Angels beat the Cubs yesterday. So let's hope for a better game out of the Grapefruit League tomorrow. I was going to carry a game on my 9-foot signal, but unfortunately there was no Cub game to be found. And I've got to go through our affiliate out in Chicago, WSCR, the Score 670, and find out when they are carrying games so that we can carry here on our 9-foot FM signal here, in this area. And, we might even carry the game in private right here on Spreaker. So people who follow me on Facebook, or rather follow me on Twitter, follow me on Spreaker. So follow me on Spreaker, and can listen to the private broadcast of my 9-foot signal carrying the Cubs. So, check that out. It's going to be pretty wild. Right now, though, it's time for What's on Spreaker. Right now. Yeah. See what's happening around the area, around the community of Spreaker and its podcast platform. Thank you very much, boo-boo. Yay. Yeah. Anyway, let's see what's going on on Spreaker here on GJRB Online and see what great radio stations are on the air tonight broadcasting some great stuff. Starting at 6 o'clock Central Time, Debbie and John's All Music Show from the Debbie Scott Radio Network at 6 o'clock after we get done here. They always play good stuff. I'm telling you what, you got to check out Debbie and John if you have a chance. They play some great stuff. They have their all music show. They have interviews. They interview new emerging artists. Some of the artists I'm going to be playing coming up on my What's Up and Coming show, and also on Gary J in the Afternoon, which I'm planning on having next week, possibly tentative. As a spontaneous, so watch for postings on the GJRB Spreaker public site, and we'll have another edition of that show coming up at 11 o'clock tonight. Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott from British Columbia, Canada, and I don't know what he's got on tonight. Let me check his page. I'm gonna do that while I got the chance. See what's rolling here. But find out what is on his page, because I usually do that to see what's going to be happening on his show tonight, because he always has a good guest on his show. He has great, interesting topics, and we want to promote it as all possible. So I want to let people know what kind of guest he's going to have on his show. And just do that. He's got about 3 hours, 32 minutes, and 48 seconds to the next show. And he's got on his guest lineup tonight. Let's see here. Why don't you tell me what it is? Oh, yeah, here we go. On his next show live, he's got Keith Andrews on his show. Now, he's been on here before. He's been fabulous. Every first Friday of the month. So this is the first Friday of the month now. This is the first Friday of the month. We're doing the smooth jazz. It's really cool. But tonight, the first Friday of the month, he always has a great guest on, and he has E.T. contactee R. Keith Andrews, who's going to discuss the purpose of aliens coming to Earth and having a contact with us. And he's not only that, he's an E.T. contactee. He's not only an E.T. contactee. He is he has some gifts that'll help him and others in more than 30 years. So you want to tune in tonight for Keith Andrews on Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. 11 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Pacific Time, midnight Eastern, right here on Spreaker. And crossing the midnight hour, about 1 o'clock in the morning, it is the Ace Show, the Gyp Zone, and the Gyp Zone mixed up. Only that, a little behind on his show. Radio Hope, Mike Myers. I haven't listened to you for a couple of days. I need to catch up on your podcast. I've been busy. I have my own shows going on, Radio Hope, though, he's always got inspirational message that talks about God and, what we need in our life. Mike Myers, Radio Hope Network. Tune in to Mike Myers, say 8 o'clock in the a.m. Central Standard Time. Should be going to East Standard Daylight pretty soon. Anyway, he's got a great show coming up tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock on Sunday mornings. I mean, you can't, what a way to go to church to be inspired by and talk about the Lord. Radio Hope, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. TJWS Radio Network at 10:20 in the morning. Dynamic Debbie will interview on the music show. And in between that, around 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, it is the Best of Jazz right here on GJRB. So you want to tune in to the Best of Jazz. Got a lot of good stuff. And, of course, the ones I didn't mention are the great ones that are on throughout the week that we don't get mentioned, like our good friend John, who has the OBFSU, our big, fat, soft underbelly. This guy's, he's pretty wild. He'll let you know what's going on in the news. You got to listen to this guy. Big, fat, soft underbelly. You want conservative commentary at its best. You got to tune in to this guy out of Wisconsin. I'm not kidding you. This guy does this stuff. I'm telling you, he's fabulous. You got to listen to him. It is Ed Delgado and the Caramel Conservative. Yep, he's going to tell you what he thinks of all these left-wing nuts that are, trying to mess up this country. He'll tell you all about it. He'll tell you what he thinks. So tune in 8:30 on Tuesday nights live for the Caramel Conservative, Ed Delgado. He'll tell you what it's like, man. He'll tell you what it is. I got some new guys that just joined my show, too. And we'll make a mention of them real quick. Some of the guys who joined us on the Spreaker Public site. I mean, these guys are absolutely fabulous. You got to check them out. Some of the new followers I've got. And, of course, some of the ones we already have. Blake Myers. And we have Caprice Marie. And we have Buppa from the Wicked Pissa Show join us. Penny and, let's see, Dale Keller. We have Inspiration Dark 64. He's got some smooth jazz, too. And we can't forget about Bob Huber, the handyman, always with us. He's fabulous. He's always talking, packs a lot of stuff in. And now he's 1 day a week. He'll do 45 minutes and 15-minute increments, but he'll tell you what it's like, too. He's got some really good stuff. And, of course, our brand-new member, Ben Osman Osan. Yeah, he's a follower on Facebook here on Spreaker, but he doesn't broadcast anything. I like to see him do a broadcast. He had to do his own show. Because, we've been kind of having a battle for the guest spot I don't know what's going on with that. He usually, now the past couple of Saturdays, I planned a show with him to be a guest. And he's had stuff coming up with work, with small emergencies coming up. His car broke down. It's like things come up that he couldn't make the show. And we're going to try one more time in about 2 weeks, actually. I don't know, 2 weeks. Next Saturday. Because I am planning to have him work